Okay, we're here at the end of the Rising Star show. I'm here with Mark Clauzel after his charge. Bazzy Razak had his first draw on his record tonight against the very, very experienced William Warburton. Mark, it was certainly a step up in experience and things. How do you feel the fight went tonight?
Honestly, opinion, I thought Bazzy, you know, fair. I'm not gonna. I can't argue with the decision, like, but watching it, Baz won the first 2 rounds pretty comfortably. Fair enough, the second round, you know, they were both a bit hit and missy, but you know, Baz outworked him and he was, you know, throwing the better, cleaner shots. The ones that did land were from Baz, so you give him the first 2 rounds. The third round, Willie seemed to warm into the fight and got into it, and Baz let him back into it a little bit and switched off a bit. A few things we don't know, that questions that I said there's going to be questions asked, and there were. And then the fourth round, I thought, you know, it was more level than anything because they were both a little bit hitty missy, weren't they?
Yeah.
But you know, the draw, it's deflated them a little bit. But listen, he'll be back in the gym next week, Baz, and we'll be setting things right. You know, when it's a bit hard for him as well because he was training for Kevin McCauley for this fight, and open tell sort of 10 years ago, you know, he was training for Kevin McCauley, and all of a sudden this style changes and we're fighting a different kid. Kevin McCauley's a more come forward fighter, likes to be in your face, likes to fight with you, so we were working on different things for that. Willie Warburton, you know, dragging himself away, making him look daft, trying to make you look daft, make you fall short. So conflicting styles. So you know, once he'd had all that and had that sparring for Kevin McCauley, just suddenly change and not have the conflicting styles of sparring, to have that there, it's thrown him a little bit of house, you know. But he's learned more in those 4 rounds of fighting William Warburton than he has done in his last 3 fights. And that was one of the main reasons I took, you know, when they said, "Oh, got Willie Warburton, do you want that fight?" I said, "Yeah, take it because it's going to be a good fight." You know, me and Joe sat down, watched him a little bit, you know, and said, "Yeah, it's going to be a hard fight for him, but it's going to be a good learning fight." And it was.
Well, it was Baz he's flown through the ranks so far. His speed and his power in particular. But this is the first time he's had to fight when he's actually been under pressure.
Yeah.
Because I think from the 3rd round onwards, Warburton was coming forward a bit more, and you can't buy experience like that.
Well, look, I mean, his first fight he fought a 10-round fight, didn't he, Warburton, for a title, and he got stopped in the 9th round. Since then, he's never been stopped. I think he got one fight that ended on a technicality for a cut. Other than that, he's never been stopped, and he's been around the mill. I mean, just on this area, we've seen him fighting Glenn Foot, Craig Dixon, and I can't remember who else he fought up here. And you know, he's been upsetting the odds recently. You know, he's upset Warren kids. He upset a guy the other week there, just last week there, he got a win in. So he's no mug. He's a quality operator. Don't underestimate him.
I think the guys at ringside see William Warburton is probably the best journeyman out there. Yeah. So in terms of experience from Bazzy's point of view, what's the plan going forward now?
The plan going forward is just, I need to get him, again, just pick him back up mentally, let him know that bubble's burst now. You know, that invincibility, bubble of invincibility is gone. You know, he's got a draw. He hasn't got a loss.
No, absolutely.
Look, you haven't lost, son. You got a draw. The O's still there. It's not went anywhere.
But it's your job as manager and mentor to help nurture that, though, isn't it?
I know for a fact he's going to be kicking himself, going right into it. I said to him, I said, "Baz, listen," and Joe's even said about that there. We enjoyed that fight for you because you had to learn so much as you were in there. You're learning on the job, and you know,
that tells you what you got to go and learn back in the gym.
But what I don't want for Baz is, you know, his last 3 fights. Okay, they've been the right fight for him, and they've been the correct introduction to the pros for him. First fight was a decent fight that I was 2-1, 3 fights, 2 losses, 1 win. Perfect fight for his first fight, and he got the stoppage. Second fight, the kid was 1-0 as well. Stopped him. So again, it was, you know, it's been taken for a right. Yeah. The last fight he was taken for a right and stopped him. But then we can't get those fights where he's getting these sort of kids that he can just blow out of the water and have his own way.
He's not learning from those, and he keeps doing those.
What I don't want to happen is he has 10, 11 fights like that. He's blowing kids out of the water. He's unable, he's able, I should say, to step forward, unload his shots, and do what he wants. Tonight he was made to think, he was made to work differently.
He was made to go backwards.
He was made to be putting the back foot. He unloaded shots because he with his awkward style and pulling off and then jumping in and jumping out and constant mobility in the ring there. He asked a lot of questions of him, and that was great because he learned a lot from it. You know, and he's going to go away and we'll take more positives away from getting the rounds in and having to work at it. And yeah, fair enough, we got the draw.
Once you've got time to process the information and work on the things that come out of it, and then that's...
I think he was a little bit afraid because he wanted to get in there. And you know, to be honest with you, like I say, the change of opponent last minute, that's threw him a little bit. The fight was, Eddie Hearn's fight pass, stream.
It was an opportunity as well, wasn't it, to shine?
He didn't look himself, did he? It wasn't a vintage Razak performance, but it's never going to be against somebody as tricky as that guy. But at the same time, I think Baz let the occasion get better a little bit, because in the corner, even though Saki wasn't processing information, he was going back out and trying to unload. And when Joe gave him the correct instruction, he didn't follow it down the way he normally does.
Yeah.
So I think he was a little bit flustered by the whole thing.
Well, that's it again. Add to the experience.
Yeah.
It's you can prepare yourself for a situation you've been through before.
Yeah.
When you haven't been in a situation,
Well,
how do you prepare yourself? You can only guess what's going to happen.
That's it. Well, he's been there now. He's wore that t-shirt. He knows what it's all about. He's fighting on a decent stage in front of a national audience again. So, fair enough. He's been there. He's learned from it. Didn't go his way, so he's got to take away from that. So now we'll go back to the gym next week, have a few days off, have a bit of rest, back to the drawing board, have a look at why and all the rest of it, and maybe 6-7 fights down the line, fights where they were against a different fight. But listen, I'm glad that happened now, like I say, because imagine if he had 8 or 9 fights and he's blown everybody out of the water. Everybody thinks he's going to be this superstar, which we all believe he can be down the line, right? And he goes in there and he hasn't had these sort of fights, and he gets found out on the biggest stage of his career when it really comes to the titles.
Well, that's why you have to be stepped up, step by step, gradually.
So this was perfect for him. Listen, I'm telling you, he's learned more tonight than he's learned in his last 3 fights, and I believe that, honestly, I really do. And I'm sure you guys agree.
Oh, the journey's far from over, mate. But I'll be back down the gym shortly. We'll continue on those improvements.
Cheers,
Marco.